A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a powerful plea, European powers including Britain, France, and Germany have united in calling for an end to the escalating humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. This urgent statement comes as the UN Food Agency revealed alarming statistics indicating that nearly one-third of the population in the war-torn Palestinian territory has gone days without food. The ongoing conflict, now stretching over 21 months, has led to widespread starvation, prompting aid organizations to raise the alarm about what they describe as mass starvation affecting the civilian population. On Friday, the leaders of these three nations urged Israel to immediately lift restrictions on humanitarian aid and to allow the United Nations and non-governmental organizations to act swiftly to address the dire situation. They emphasized that the basic needs of the civilian population, including access to food and clean water, must be met without delay. The leaders stated, withholding essential humanitarian assistance to the civilian population is unacceptable. Israel must uphold its obligations under international humanitarian law. The situation in Gaza has reached critical levels, with reports from Doctors Without Borders indicating that a significant percentage of young children and pregnant or breastfeeding mothers are suffering from malnutrition. The UN's World Food Program has echoed these concerns, highlighting that food aid is the only means for many to access sustenance as food prices soar. Meanwhile, the Israeli military operations continue to claim lives, with the Gaza Civil Defense Agency reporting at least 28 fatalities on Friday alone. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has condemned the international community's indifference to the crisis, labeling it a moral crisis that challenges the global conscience. He expressed disbelief at the lack of compassion shown by many nations, stating that this is not just a humanitarian crisis, it is a moral crisis. Guterres has called for a dramatic increase in humanitarian operations in Gaza should a ceasefire be reached between Israel and Hamas. The urgent need for humanitarian assistance has become a focal point of international discussions, with Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani also condemning the ongoing violence and famine in Gaza. As concern rises over the increasing number of malnourished children, the European leaders have reiterated their call for an immediate ceasefire and a halt to the conflict. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, while facing pressure from within his party to recognize a Palestinian state, has maintained that any such recognition must be part of a broader plan leading to a two-state solution. This position reflects the complex dynamics at play within European nations regarding their stance on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The leaders are also grappling with competing pressures over their relationships with Israel, with some expressing hesitation to fully endorse the recognition of a Palestinian state. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza has intensified, with European leaders emphasizing that the time has come to end the war and ensure that humanitarian aid reaches those in desperate need. They have called on the Israeli government to lift restrictions on aid and allow organizations to operate freely in the region. In a significant development, Israeli officials announced plans for foreign nations to deliver humanitarian aid to Gaza via airdrops, signaling a potential shift in the flow of assistance to the beleaguered population. The situation remains critical as international leaders navigate the complexities of the conflict while striving to address the urgent humanitarian needs of the people in Gaza. The call for action from European powers underscores the pressing need for a coordinated response to alleviate the suffering of civilians caught in the crossfire of this protracted conflict. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.